Well, I'm here to say I'm not worried about this dump. Yes, it was originally triggered by Jerome Powell's lack of interest rate cuts or his perceived lack of interest rate cuts next year. However, it's kind of changed now. I actually think the scare is because the government might actually sell $6.5 billion worth of Bitcoin at this point. Why do I think that? Well, it's not meshing with the overall economy all that well. Because if you look at CNBC today, the stock market actually, if you look at yesterday, the US, the stock market actually went up. It's largely recovered. And pre market, we're not really dumping all that much. So if the lack of interest rate cuts really shackle the market or like really cause the market to shake, then the stocks would actually reflect that as well. The stock market, being a broader investment platform, is a much better gauge of the sentiment of the overall economy than the crypto market. And since the stock market has floated pretty well since since he made the announcement, while the crypto markets dropped about 15%, I don't think it's because of the stock. I don't think it's because of the interest rate cuts and Jerome Powell's somewhat hawkish stance. I think that was already kind of priced in, anyways. What has the crypto market experienced since that the stock market hasn't? Well, obviously, like I said, it's the fact that the DOJ might sell 6.5 billion bitcoins. Now, I'm not really too worried about that because one, Germany did like half that sale, like, and they did it like right on the market on spot, about like 3 billion. And yeah, it did tank the market for a while, but then it just came back up stronger than ever. Um, and I don't think generally the US, even if they do so, will be spot. I think a lot of it will be OTC, which will have a much less effect. I think Michael Saylor is probably salivating over this prospect of maybe getting some cheap BTC of that sale. He's probably raising money as fast as he can to buy it from the Silk Road stash. And yes, it is the Silk Road stash. It's about 69,000 Bitcoin that they want to sell. Plus, Trump is going to come into office in 10 days. The order was on December 30th. I don't think they've started selling. But if they have, this might actually be caused by some of that selling, which would actually make sense. But I don't think they'll be able to sell all of it before Trump comes into office, and he might actually just stop the sale because maybe he wants to have a Bitcoin reserve. I don't know if he's actually going to do that or not, but he might just stop the sale just to get some kudos from crypto investors. And I think he should stop the sale if there's any really premonition of, like, let's say, a crypto reserve. So realistically, I'm not really afraid of this. I think people are reacting to certain news. Yes, it was December 30th, but remember, like, around New Year time, there's the holiday stuff. People aren't really paying attention. Maybe they did actually, and the news just really came out recently that, they're all clear, they're going to sell, or they're cleared to sell. But within 10 days, I don't think they can still sell 69,000 Bitcoin. And I do think it is going to be kind of a knee jerk reaction. And even if they start selling, it's going to be short term until he comes into office. And then, of course, people are going to look at his policies. And I do think there's going to be some pro crypto policies. So I do think it's like just a couple of like data points or a couple of pieces of news that are actually tanking us. And it won't last that long. My guess is by next week, unless the late labor numbers are really bad tomorrow, which I hope they're not, I think by next week we will actually be coming back up. So that's why I'm not really worried about this particular sell off. I don't think we've hit the peak yet anytime soon. Like every time we dip, people are like, it's over. And then we go back up past 100,000. We dip a couple times again. People are like, it's over. We've attacked 100,000 about 3 or 4 times. Eventually, it's going to break. And I do think with the new administration coming in, being more pro crypto, Oklahoma, like looking at crypto salaries even, I definitely think there's much more to be bullish about than bearish about. Because realistically, at this point, the whole Trump pump has been worse than like the Biden pump of the last 4 years, and that doesn't really make too much sense because Trump is seen as a much more crypto president. Because after like Biden got elected, we were at 15K after Biden got elected. By the time the year ended, we were at almost at 30K. That's like a 100% increase. With Trump, we were at like 65K when he got elected, and we were only at about 100K. So that's a less percentage increase than the last 4 years. And of course, even after that, after Biden got inaugurated, we went up like another 100%, doubled from like 30 to like 60, over $60,000. So I expect at least another 50, 60% increase before we hit the top. And I think the 4 year cycle is going to play out that way as well. Despite his bluster about Greenland and whatever the hell he wants to do, I do think because crypto has made a lot of donations to his campaign and his inauguration, I do think he will actually focus somewhat on crypto just to please the donors. As you can see right now, like any crypto company that donates $1 million to his inauguration gets to have dinner with him, basically. So I actually have a good feeling about this right now, and I think people should just hold on. So that's the news for today. Let me know what you think. Like and subscribe, hit that bell notifications button. Thank you, and have a nice day.